Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Mystery Sports Podcast channel. Right. Obviously, after a huge mess of what's happening, technical issues, let's hope everything is working and it is all sorted. So, I have done the match review of United's game. Obviously, a lot of you might have seen the actual video, and obviously, there was no sound in there. So, please tell me this is working now. I hope it is working. Just someone in say if someone just put yes, you can hear me in the live chat so that I know it's working. There we go. Right, finally it's working. Here we go. Right, we'll get into it again. Right, so United won 4-2. Brilliant result from United. Obviously Cunha scoring, Casemiro scoring, and Buemo bagging two as well. Brilliant from them guys. We'll do the player ratings after once I've in a second. We'll go through the stats first. So yeah, obviously we know United scored four. Brighton scored two. The possession stats for United was 43 and Brighton's was 57. So obviously they've got a higher percentage in the possession stats. But if we look at the big chances created, United created four big chances, whereas Brighton only created one. I mean, which is incredible, really, from Brighton obviously having more shots as well on the ball, and you just wouldn't think that would happen. So um, it was quite strange to see United being this clinical because we've not seen that United side be as clinical as previous. And you're just like, wow, obviously you've seen us create so many chances for like Cunha and Buemo, things like that, and Fernandez. It and obviously to see him scoring four and not having the most shots, obviously having more on target with their nine compared to Brighton's five on target. You're just like, oh, it's crazy there. And you also have things such as like the corners, Brighton having more corners and United only having one. Um, and the XG, I mean, United only obviously scoring four, they have a higher XG of 1.13, whereas Brighton have 1.07, which is obviously a bit strange. Um, I'm actually really thrown off right now because I've had to redo this stream like five times. But it 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 it's a huge stepping stone really, and it's just like you didn't think this would ever happen before really, and you didn't think that United were going to win three in a row, and I didn't think United were going to win three in a row. I mean, I know I predicted them to win 2-1, but throughout that entire game, even when we were 3-0 up, I was still feeling that United need to go grab a fourth here because I just don't see us putting the game to bed. And what did we do? Um, we were 3-0 up. We made it 3-2, and obviously Mbamo scores in the 96th minute to make it 4-2. I mean, I was biting my fingernails. I was stressing whilst watching that final period of the game, which I just thought was absolutely diabolical, really, just because there's no way that you should be conceding two goals and being that dominant during the game. I know, obviously, Cunha and Cunha and Buemo were fantastic the entire game, and they're my two man of the matches. And we'll go through the player ratings now. I'll lead just swiftly onto there. And obviously, that's where we'll be talking mainly about all the players and how I felt they did within the entire game and how well I think they all did, considering we nearly bottled a 3-0 lead. But the way that we've turned the game around and we won 4-2 and we're now fourth in the league is just brilliant for us. So if we go with the Lemons, the keeper, obviously making three saves in there, and there were two vital saves that he did make. And you're thinking, if you have an Anna in the net there, and Anna's rooted to the spot and they'd probably go in, and Brighton are like, they're probably 2-1, I think it was at the time. It could have been 2-1 to obviously United. And you're like, thank God he's made that save there because we've not had a keeper for God knows how long since De Gea had left, like 3 years ago. We've just not had that keeper who would make those saves and tip it around the post, even though it might not need saving, but diving just to make sure that it's not got a chance or it doesn't scare us that it's going in. So I'm going to give him an 8 out of 10. I think it was brilliant. He was very, very good aerially again, claiming the corners, claiming the crosses in the box, just being dominant in that 18-yard box. That's his 18-yard box, and he's made it his, which is fantastic, and that's what you want in a goalkeeper. Lenny Yoro, De Ligt, and Shaw, I'm going to give them all sevens because I think they were fantastic. The press was amazing. Obviously, Luke Shaw grabbed an assist. fantastic for him, and the way that he was in through that entire game, probably one of the best performances I've seen of Luke Shaw in recent times. Matthias de Ligt, brilliant, aggressive, what we need. Lenny Yoro, calm on the ball, getting it forward into Ahmad, playing into Casemiro, Bruno, Cunha, and Buemo. Fantastic again from Lenny Yoro. Amad Diallo, I'm going to give you a 7. Very, very good in the 70 minutes that he played. Very direct, creating chances, running forward, pressing what we needed, making those mistakes, or forcing those mistakes, should I say, for Brighton. And had a very good battle with Matea from Brighton. And Matea didn't really have, I don't think he was very good in the game. There was a lot of expectation of him, but he was useless in the entire game, I think. Casemiro, brilliant, grabbed his goal, very, very, and an assist, very well played performance and very well conducted um, performance from Casemiro. Didn't get a yellow card, which is surprising. Very good in tackles, very good in breaking down the play and calming the possession down. He dictated the play, really. Him and Bruno dictated the play. Bruno Fernandes, I'll give you a 7. Very, very good. I know he didn't grab an assist or a goal, but the way that he had like a second assist or for that Mbeumo goal, that kind of dummy there, he was literally scanning the place, and it was just fantastic to see that to happen. And you know what, Bruno, very very good performance from him. And when he went further forward, he looked very very good. He looked like the old Bruno was back. So I mean, that's what we want to see more often, I think. The low, I'm going to give you a 5. Really average performance. Didn't do much in the game. Didn't do create many chances. Thought he was quite useless again, and I think I don't know why Dorgu didn't really get 90 minutes or even um, not 90 minutes, but didn't start. I just think Dalot isn't that good of a football player anymore. I know he had that one amazing season under Ten Hag when we won the FA Cup, but he's looked absolutely useless. And I honestly, I think it's time to move Dalot on. I know he's very passionate about the club and things, but I just think he's not good enough. He's like McTominay, he's just not good enough for Manchester United and the quality that we need. Cunha and Bremo, 10 out of 10s for them. Brilliant performance. Obviously, we'll start with Cunha. Brilliant goal. First goal for United. Brilliant. Very good link up play with the likes of Bruno and Buemo, Shesko. Brilliant. Just constantly always on the ball, getting it forward, playing those passes forward, running into the channels, getting forward as well, dribbling with the ball and things like that were just fantastic. And Buemo, brilliant 2 goals. First brace for United. You can't argue with that. 10 out of 10 again. Um, I think it just shows the quality that we have in Brian Mbeumo and Cunha. I mean, how much, and obviously Shesko as well. I'll give you an 8 out of 10. I think even though he didn't grab a goal, he got an assist. He did very, very well in the link up play, and his kind of involvement in the entire game was very, very set, like just constantly there, constantly linking up the play with Mbeumo, getting forward, putting the Brighton defence under pressure. And obviously, we saw that Brighton are usually quite direct with the passing, but they were quite useless with the passing. I didn't see them having a very, very. I think everyone could see that the passing was awful from Brighton. So Shesko very well there, and I just think that front three, £250 million we paid for him, they are repaying that money back, and I think they're scoring goals. I mean, they've all three of them have been involved in everything today, and they deserve those. The two 10 out of 10s for Cunha and Mbeumo. I think they're the man of the matches of the game, and Shesko with that 8 out of 10 performance, brilliant, and that's just what we need for going forward against Forest next week. And obviously, we made it 3 wins in a row. Can we make it a fourth and give that United Strand guy a chance to get his hair cut? Because I think it could happen. I just think it's a very, very slim chance that, not a very slim chance. I just think it's not a high chance. There's like it's like 50% chance that we could do 5 in a row. But I know it's United and we can't get ahead of ourselves, because I do think that next week going to Forest, we could just easily slip up there with their manager bounce and Deitch back at the taking charge of them. I just think United need to be careful in what we do. Go on to the subs now. Joshua Zirkzee, I'll give you a 6 out of 10. Didn't obviously only had like 10 minutes on the pitch, so he didn't really do much. But his link up play with the likes of Bruno and Buemo was fantastic, and he just did what he needed to do. Patrick Dorgu came on in the 70th minute, did very well, very good defensively. And he obviously got booked, but it definitely was not a yellow card. And Anthony Taylor is a disgrace to the refereeing committee because he is awful. The amount of fouls he didn't give for United was diabolical. The foul that he gave for Brighton when Patrick Dorgu he's made he's not even he's made contact, but he's running together, right? The ball's already in when they made the contact, the ball's pretty much in Lemans' hands, so it's not a foul. And if you're going to give someone a yellow card for that, that yellow card should be a red card because he's the last man there. It's a denial of a goal scoring opportunity, That's what it is. And he's given a yellow card. So I just think Anthony Taylor's an awful referee. Manuel Ugarte obviously came on the 81st minute. I've got a really itchy nose, sorry. Manuel Ugarte came on the 81st minute. Very good performance from him. I'll give you a 6. Just controlled the midfield when it was getting end to end. Did very well. Aiden Heaven grabbing an assist for Bremel's second goal. Very good player, and I absolutely adore Aiden Heaven. I think he's such a good player. And I think hopefully now he should get some more minutes under his belt. Gabby Mainu came on the 70th minute again. Just very sound performance from him. He needed to keep the ball and things, and did what he needed to do. Just Ruben Amorim, to give him a match rating, I'm going to give you a 7 out of 10. I think you did very well in terms of what you needed to do. The only downside to the performance was that you made the subs a bit too early for the 70th. When you brought Mainu and Dorgu on, I just think you probably should have left it to the 75th minute. I know a lot of people might be saying, "Oh, you caught Rowan, you're calling out for Mainu to be getting like 30 minutes and stuff like that." I was like, "Yeah, I know, I do think that he should be getting more minutes." But if you look at the game and as soon as we made those kind of like we made those substitutions, you could tell that as Gary Neville said, it's like Ruben Amorim's just said, "The game's gone." Not the game's gone. The game's done, and we've won the game. And obviously, what happens? They get 2 goals. One of them obviously shouldn't have been a goal. And I mean, the 92nd goal that they got, I mean, it was we switched off, and we should not have switched off. And I think if you are alert and you don't switch off in that position, we don't concede that second goal. So we could have easily won this 4-0, but at the end of the day, we still got 3 points. We still just got 4 goals. We're fourth in the league. We can't argue with that. It's where we should be with this squad that we have. And I think Ruben Amorim is coming into that kind of what that manager who we thought he was, and what we're seeing the change in the Ruben Amorim. We are now seeing that. And I think from last year, the development that we've had from that team to now is very, very different. And we look like a stronger team, look like a team who can actually press the ball. You don't press disjointedly. Obviously, we've still got a lot. I know it's only 3 games where we've won back 3 on the bounce. We still got to back it up against away at Nottingham Forest, then travel to Spurs. We've got to back it up there. We've got to keep backing up those wins and not slipping up stupidly against like the teams such as like the Brightons, like the Foresters when you go away there, or even the Palace. And then obviously they are very good. Well, Palace and Tottenham and Forest, not Forest. What am I on about? Brighton's, Forest. Yeah, Forest are drilled side. Obviously, Dyche is going to have it drilled into them to be sound defensively. So all those teams below us, we can't be slipping up like stupid results, like conceding 3 against Bournemouth at home, or we should be winning games like 4-2 or 4-0 or whatever we might be, like an Arsenal and dominant performance that we need to show at our own pitch. And then obviously we can start pushing and pushing, and then obviously get back to where we want. And obviously Ruben's ambition of winning the Premier League. Obviously, it's going to take time, and I'm not going to say, "Oh yeah, it's going to happen right now." I think this year, from looking at the table now, we're obviously fourth in the league. Liverpool are obviously still losing. I think, yeah, Liverpool are still losing 1-0 against Brentford currently. If we're looking at the league, obviously we're fourth. Bournemouth, City, Tottenham, and Crystal Palace haven't all played yet. So United could end up, well, if Liverpool do win today, United could end up fifth, right? Which is brilliant considering how bad the start was. But by the end of this weekend, we could be sixth in the league, right? If that happens, that's a brilliant sign for United because we go to Forest, we get that win there, and then we get back into the top four. We've got to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and building on these kind of performances that we have. And like I said before, give that United strand a haircut. Obviously, there's more to obviously that. We need to be pushing for those Champions League places, that European spot. And it goes back to my very, very first video, or whenever I did the Premier League preview, where I said that, look, if United can play good football, attacking wise, using Cunha and Bremo linking up, which they are doing, and hopefully that can carry on, United will become a good team, right? And no one can argue with that. No rival fan can be like, oh, your team's crap, this and that, right? Obviously, they still have a point now because we do lose against the Brightons and things, not Brighton, Brentfords and things like that, which is stupid, but we've got to cut that out. And if we cut that out, then rival fans can't really say anything. We've just got to keep pushing and eventually, giving Ruben Amorim time, we might become this team who we once were. Obviously, it's a long stretch at the moment, and we've still got a lot to do, and we still need to buy in these players, like a centre mid, for example. Obviously, they, it's just going to take time, like I said. But apart from that, though, I think it was a very, very good game overall. Great for a neutral's perspective. Obviously, United looking shaky at the end, which we need to cut out. Obviously, we won 4-2 in the end and now sitting in fourth in the league and all on really happy at the moment. But we just got to keep building and we've got to keep building from these positive results, leading to another positive result, to another, and things like that. So I am I am looking forward to it, and let's hope that we can carry on and get in challenge for Europe and get European positions. But yeah, that is everything really for today. I will do another video tomorrow about what's happened in the Premier League for the other results and things. Obviously, the results today, I'm not really going to touch on them because it's more United today. But apart from that, though, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend and hopefully United are sitting fourth, maybe fifth in the league come tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock. All right. Well, I'll catch you all in a bit. I hope you have obviously a good weekend, good Sunday. A lot of you also are on half term, so we'll be enjoying that. And yeah, if you got, please like, subscribe, share the video, and got any comments, please leave them in the comment section so I can reply to them. Catch you on the bit. See you in a bit. What a game.